Raiders of the Lost Ark is a 1981 American action-adventure film directed by Steven Spielberg from a screenplay by Lawrence Kasdan, based on a story by George Lucas and Philip Kaufman. Set in 1936, Indiana Jones, a globe-trotting archaeologist vying with Nazi German forces to recover the long-lost Ark of the Covenant, which is said to make an army invincible. Teaming up with his tough former romantic interest Marion Ravenwood, Jones races to stop rival archaeologist Dr. René Belloc from guiding the Nazis to the Ark and its power. Plot: in the spring of 1936, an exploration party penetrates thick jungle on the South American continent. American archaeologist Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford, and his companion, Sapito, played by Alfred Molina, enter a vast cave. Jones finds a chamber where the wanted statue sits atop a pedestal and is protected by traps. Jones avoids the traps, gets to the statue and replaces the statue with a sandbag. The weight of the sandbag is not accurate and the chamber starts to collapse. Jones runs off with the statue until Sapito extorts the statue from Jones and runs off, leaving Jones behind. Jones manages to escape under the closing stone door and he finds Sapito dead in the trap. Jones escapes with the statue and manages to rush out of the cave at the last moment. Thundering out of the cave, Indy encounters the Havatat, a local tribe led by Dr. René Belloc, played by Paul Freeman, a French archaeologist. Havatat and Belloc threaten Indy's life, and he is forced to hand over the statue to Belloc, and Indy manages to escape on a water plane. Indy returns to the United States, where he teaches archaeology. Indy wants to go to Marrakesh to find Belloc, but Indy's friend Marcus Brody, played by Denholm Elliott, interrupts, saying that two Army intelligence officers want to talk to Indy. Army officers are worried because they have intercepted a German message. The message reveals that the Nazis have found Tanis, an ancient lost city that is the possible burial site of the Ark of the Covenant. Jones deduces that the Nazis are seeking the Ark of the Covenant, which Adolf Hitler believes will make their army invincible. The agents recruit Jones to recover the Ark first. Indy flies to Nepal to talk to Marion Ravenwood, played by Karen Allen, who runs a restaurant and bar. Nazi agent Todt, played by Ronald Lacey, follows Jones. Jones says he needs a mysterious object that has been in the possession of Marion's father. Marion says she doesn't know where the object is and Indy leaves. In reality, the object is in Marion's possession. Todt and his henchmen enter the bar and start torturing the supposed Marion for the object. Indy returns and a firefight ensues, during which the building begins to burn. Todt finds the object, but when he grabs it, his hand burns badly, leaving a scar from the object on his hand. Indy and Mario escape from the burning house with an object. Marion tells Indy that she is his partner in the venture. Indy and Marion fly to Egypt to meet Indy's friend, Salah, played by John Rhys-Davies, who reveals that a French archaeologist Belloc is helping the Nazis with their excavations. Indy knows that the Nazis will never find the Ark's location without the object. Later, Arabs working for Nazi agents attack Indy and Marion. Marion is captured by the agents. Salah takes Indy to see a shaman who reads the inscriptions on the object after both men learn that Belloc and his Wehrmacht aide Colonel Dietrich, played by Wolf Kahler, may have been misinformed about the object, and that with the false information, the Nazis were looking for the Ark in the wrong place. Indy is lowered into an underground room, where he uses the object to identify the exact location of the Ark. Sneaking around the camp, Indy finds Marion but can't save her. Indy and Salah sneak up to the chamber where the Ark is actually located. They descend into the chamber and eventually they find a giant stone chest containing the Ark. Ark and Salah are lifted out of the chamber with a rope, and at the same time the rope is dropped into the hole and Belloc appears with Dietrich. Before the chamber lid closes, Todt throws Marion into the chamber. Marion and Indy manage to escape the chamber. They find an airport where a Nazi flying wing is waiting to fly the Ark out. Indy and Marion destroy the plane and escape. Dietrich orders his men to transport the Ark by truck to Cairo. Sala finds Indy and Marion, and tells them about Dietrich's plan. Indy takes off on a horse to chase the motorcade. He hijacks the truck containing the Ark and escapes the chase, taking the Ark to safety. He and Marion board a ship that takes them and the Ark to a safer location, but the ship is stopped by a Nazi submarine. The Nazis capture Marion and transfer the Ark to a submarine. Indy climbs aboard the submarine as it leaves. A submarine crosses the Mediterranean Sea and arrives at a small island in the Aegean Sea. Indy sees Marion being escorted off the submarine. Indy knocks out the guard, and steals his uniform. When Belloc, Dietrich, Todt and Marion arrive at the canyon, Indy holds them off with a German rocket launcher and threatens to destroy the Ark. Indy finds he can't carry out his threat and is seized. Tied to a post on top of a mountain, Indy and Marion watch as the Nazis open the Ark. But it only contains sand. However, as soon as it is opened, its spirits suddenly appear. Indy remembers an ancient commandment that requires people to close their eyes and not look at the released spirits. She closes her eyes and calls Marion to do the same. Ark's energy emerges and its spirits attack the Nazis, killing the entire group, including Todt, Dietrich and Belloc, but not Indy and Marion. The Ark's energy mass plunges high into the night sky until the Ark's lid closes again. Indy and Marion are released. Weeks later, the Ark is sealed in a wooden box, stamped with a government serial number, and transported to a large warehouse containing thousands of similar-looking boxes. About the film. The film was directed by Steven Spielberg. The screenplay was written by Lawrence Kasdan, based on a story by George Lucas and Philip Kaufman. The idea for the film was developed by George Lucas, who was inspired by the adventure serials of the 1930s and 1940s. The casting of Raiders of the Lost Ark includes Harrison Ford, Karen Allen, Paul Freeman, John Rhys Davis, Ronald Lacey and Denholm Elliott. The filming and production of Raiders of the Lost Ark took place in various locations around the world. The production team shot scenes in Tunisia, where they filmed the iconic opening sequence in the desert. Other filming locations included Hawaii, California, and the United Kingdom. The production was known for its large-scale set pieces and practical effects, with Spielberg and his team emphasizing the use of practical stunts and physical sets to create a sense of authenticity. The music and soundtrack for Raiders of the Lost Ark were composed by John Williams. The score is known for its iconic and adventurous themes, including the instantly recognizable Raiders March. The soundtrack was well received and contributed to the overall excitement and energy of the film. Raiders of the Lost Ark was released on June 12, 1981. The film had an estimated budget of around $20 million and went on to become a massive success at the box office. It grossed over $389 million worldwide, making it one of the highest-grossing films of that time. The critical reception of Raiders of the Lost Ark was overwhelmingly positive. The film was praised for its thrilling action sequences, engaging storyline, and the charismatic performance of Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. It received multiple Academy Award nominations and won several technical awards. The legacy of Raiders of the Lost Ark is significant. The film introduced audiences to the character of Indiana Jones, who quickly became an iconic and beloved action-adventure hero. The success of the film spawned a franchise that includes 4 direct sequels: Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 1984, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, 1989, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 2008, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, 2023. In addition to the sequels, the Indiana Jones franchise expanded to include other media such as video games, novels, and a television series. The character and the world of Indiana Jones have become ingrained in popular culture. 10 interesting facts about Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. 1. The role of Indiana Jones was initially offered to Tom Selleck, but he had to decline due to his commitment to the TV show Magnum, P.I. 2. The film was originally titled The Adventures of Indiana Smith, but was changed to Raiders of the Lost Ark during production. 3. The film received 9 Academy Award nominations and won 4, including Best Art Direction, Best Film Editing, Best Sound, and Best Visual Effects. 4. The melting Nazi face effect was achieved by using a combination of wax sculptures, animatronics, and makeup effects. 5. A reference to the Star Wars saga can be seen when R2-D2 and C-3PO are carved into the pillars when Indy once approaches the Ark. 6. In 1999, Raiders of the Lost Ark was added to the National Film Registry by the United States Library of Congress. It is the only Indiana Jones film to have been inducted. Films are chosen for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. 7. The models used for the German U-boat were rented from the production company that was making Das Boot, 1981, in the same area at the time. The company, however, had forgotten to tell this to the crew of Das Boot, who were surprised to find the models suddenly missing. 8. Despite having the dream team of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg behind the film, it was initially turned down by every studio in Hollywood. Only after much persuasion did Paramount agree to do it. 9. The truck chase sequence took 5 weeks to film for 6 minutes of screen time. 10. George Lucas and Steven Spielberg developed the story for Raiders of the Lost Ark during a vacation in Hawaii, where they discussed their shared love for adventure serials.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos and don't forget to press like button and share.